when I grew up with my grandmother on her side, we have a reunion every year, so I knew everybody on that side, But then it stopped as grandma died. And my grandmother passed away in 2002. I graduated high school in 2004. Now, fast forward, this is 2011. I'm in Chicago 7, 8 years later, whatever, and I'm in Chicago, and all of that stuff. And, we never had a reunion since then. And every time I'm kicking it with family, it seems like it's because I'm going to a funeral. So I remember that feeling of how I felt as a kid every year going to the family reunion. And then now I had my two boys at the time now. So I'm like, okay, they're at that age where I can remember how I felt being around my cousins and being around the family reunion and didn't know them. And that feeling that you feel every summer and that smell of it, you can smell the time of family reunion time. And like, you're like, oh yeah, it's about to be on.
So you smell it, huh?
Smell that barbecue, smell a little smell a little liquor on somebody's breath, some cigarettes in there, you hear the dominoes. You can, you feel it.
Yeah.
It's sometimes your spirit that puts you in that mood every time right before it's about to happen. It's time to reset and see your family.
To the Broken King podcast. I got a special guest with me today. Brother I've been knowing for a good while. Solid individual, entrepreneur, family man, CEO of ABR Collections, Adrian Beasley. What's going on, bro?
What's up, bro? How you doing, man? Appreciate you having me in the show, man. It's an honor. It's an honor.
Already, man. You know I had to have you on there, man. You my right-hand man.
Man, 50 grand.
For sure. So, man, let's go ahead and get into it, man. So, where you from, bro?
Originally from Buffalo, New York, born and raised. 716, baby. Go
Buffalo.
Bills.
Oh, here you go, man. Yeah, AB is probably one of the most devout Buffalo Bill fans that I know. One of the few that I know down here in Texas, man. But he definitely, rock with them Bills, man.
You definitely got to hold your own down here with these Dallas Cowboy fans, for sure.
Yeah, we got a little history, man. You know what I'm saying? We got some Super Bowl history, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's not every day that somebody make it to the big dance, but you got to win it, though.
Yeah, man, for sure. So you were born in Buffalo, and you spent a little time in Louisiana?
Yeah, I actually moved to Louisiana. I was like 13. I went to high school and college in Louisiana.
Okay.
Little town right outside of Shreveport, Men in Louisiana. Shout out to 318.
Okay. So yeah, you originally from Buffalo, New York, and you moved. What age did you move to Louisiana?
I was 13 years old.
Okay, copy that. Okay, and then you graduated, went to college. You played ball too, right?
Yeah, a little little tippy tap ball, man. It was a good time though. Good experience. The whole experience for college was good. Ball and education, just a different strokes. Different world, pretty much. Yeah. It was a different world where we come from, because where I come from, a lot of us don't get the opportunity to go to college.
Yeah,
it ain't even a thought of going to college.
That's right. Yeah. So talk about that. So what was New York like? What was Buffalo like?
Well, everybody see Buffalo, all they're like, oh, there's no black people in Buffalo. That doesn't sound right. Buffalo's like, but it's very diverse. But I mean, at the end of the day, it is I feel like it's more racism in Buffalo than it was in Louisiana, if that makes sense. People are more open with their racism in Buffalo, more hiding in Louisiana than in Buffalo. And it's one of the original 13 colonies in that area. New York is one of the original 13 colonies, and that's crazy though, to me. That's how I felt, just based on the experience.
Yeah. So your experience in Buffalo is just a lot of racism.
Yeah, openly.
A lot of open racism. Okay.
But it's so many different cultures there, so many different nationalities there. So Buffalo is just like almost like a duplicate of New York City, but we upstate, so it's closer to Canada than New York City. So we're about 6 hours away from New York City, but it's a smaller New York City, if that makes sense.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, so like definitely cold, right? Blizzards and all that.
Cold blizzards. You got public transportation is a big thing there. You got the train, bus line, and you get snow, a lot of snow, because it's right there off Lake Erie, so you get a lot of lake effect snow. But everything that a bigger city would have, because Buffalo is a small city though, but
Okay.
it's considered a bigger city because it has a lot of public transportation like the bigger cities do have, like New York and Chicago and California.
Yeah, it's definitely like a Midwest, East Coast thing. You know what I mean? As far as with the, so does everybody drive down there? Most people don't drive.
Well, I mean, it's more 50-50
Yeah.
there, like versus New York City. A lot of people do take the public transportation. Nobody really likes to drive in New York City, but we have the access of getting around the city very accessible with the public transportation via public train, public bus, cabs. Now the new thing is the Uber thing.
Got you. Okay. So, talk a little bit about the move to Mendon, and then was it like a culture change, or I definitely would. You go from the cold to the south to where Louisiana ain't snowing like that, right? Or
Definitely a whole culture change, man. Very, very a culture change. Just the whole environment.
you laugh.
Just the whole environment. Just the whole environment was different. You know what I'm saying? Like, but based on like the experience, what I experienced, I used to come to Louisiana every chance I got since I've been born.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I knew a lot of the people there,
Mhm.
but at the end of the day, it was definitely a different move far as the living, far as the whole move of living, actually living there versus visiting.
Gotcha.
So
So,
yeah. So just
so
a little bit more experience with it. Like it was way more cultural things that I can, get with. Like I never had like Sadie Hawkins, which is like a dance that you and your girlfriend go to and you dress up, the girl buys the uniform. Just basic experience, even having the thought of going to college or, furthering your education, seeing a two family household, two parent household, just basically a foundation. Menden showed me a foundation actually when I actually lived there versus visiting there.
gotcha. Okay. So you mean as far as like family lifestyle, and then even so the Sadie Hawkins is like a tradition or something, right? You
Yeah,
saying?
different tradition, homecomings and stuff like that.
So they
We
don't do homecomings in Buffalo?
well, they do, but it's not big as like a smaller town or down south Methods. Like they getting floats and all this. They shutting the town down, having parades. I mean, they have a parade for everything down there, and
Okay.
like
That's small town, man. You know what
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying?
So
Yeah.
it was different. It was different, and it was an eye opener too, though. You know what I mean? Like, far as me being like like in Buffalo, it was kind of hard to be a kid. You kind of had to grow up fast.
Yeah.
It slowed down a lot when I
Gotcha.
moved to Louisiana. Like for me, far as growing up, I was able to actually be a kid. You know what I'm saying? Instead of like always on the swivel.
Yeah.
Gotta
Watch it back.
watch your back. Shysters everywhere. Now there's still shysty people down there though, but it wasn't as much as willing and dealing, if that makes sense.
Gotcha. It's almost like a family atmosphere, almost, huh?
A whole new world.
Yeah. That's what's up, man. So you go to college in Louisiana. What school you went to?
Northwestern State University, Natchez, Louisiana.
Okay.
Go
Okay.
Demons. Hook 'em.
Got you. Okay. And so, at what point in time did you move to Texas?
Well, I actually moved back to Buffalo.
Okay. After
After I
college.
left Louisiana, I went back to Buffalo.
Okay.
Went back for just to kind of, you know, uh sew up some things with the family, kind of get us all back together, you know what I'm saying? And the whole time, you as a kid, you just growing up to try to make sure your family proud of you or whatever, and you want to come back and make them proud and you know what I'm saying, get everybody back together because that's what I was used to because I hadn't seen a lot of them in like 8-9 years since I moved. I was gone for almost 10 years. I left when I was 13. I didn't go back to when I was like 23 years old to actually move back to live in Buffalo.
Got you. So
Yeah.
you moved back, and so you were working down there, and like you say, basically helping with your family and stuff.
Yeah, so I actually was working in Texas, Louisiana, and what was it? Texas, Louisiana.
Chicago.
Yeah, no, it was just Texas and Louisiana at the time. So
Okay.
I moved back from I was working out of Marshall, Texas, and I was a restaurant manager for Chili's Bar and Grill. And I got an opportunity to move back to Buffalo to Niagara Falls, New York, to run that restaurant at Chili's up there in Niagara Falls. And it was an opportunity to go back to be around the family to kind of build that foundation back and show them that, hey, I done made some out of myself versus what people thought that our family household would be
Right.
legitimately.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. And then from there, so you moved to Marshall first.
Yeah, Marshall, Texas. Well, I was working out of Marshall, living in Louisiana still.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's only a 45-minute commute.
So I'm trying to get this timeline together. So you graduate, then you go back to Buffalo.
I work in Marshall, Texas for a little while. Then I go back to Buffalo.
Okay, got you.
Probably within about 7-8 months.
And then when did you come to Texas? Let's say Dallas. Well, how did you land in Dallas?
Man, actually, that's a crazy story. So I moved from Buffalo to Chicago for 2 years. And then I ended up leaving.
So what you were doing down there in Chicago?
So I got back into playing ball, and I was restaurant managing in Chicago too. But I got back to playing ball, so I was playing for this Ironman league in this arena league in Chicago. Then I got into marketing. After that didn't work out, and I got into marketing, and I was marketing a credit card for this company, and then they transferred me to Dallas.
Wow.
Yeah, then I got into the Ironman ball, so that's more of a traditional ball that we used to. So it's basically it was a semi-pro league.
Gotcha.
That you can get your film up and try to get in there. So they was paying at the time too, though. You know what I'm saying? So
okay,
got a couple of invites to NFL Combine, and it was I think it was in Indianapolis, but it was not open. I didn't have an agent, so you had to pay to go. If you
that was one of the regional combines.
Regional. Yeah, regional. Yep. It was a regional, but it was a good time though, man. See, us as our culture, that's all we think that we can do to take care of your family is either play ball or football or any type of sport. That's what's gonna make us that money. But in reality, man, if you just keep your toes down and work, you can get all that same thing that you I mean, it might take a while now. Don't get it twisted now. That check gonna come. It's different.
Right.
But it might take a while, but if you sit down and calculate everything, it all balances out. At the end of the day, man, when it's lined out and what's meant for you is gonna happen regardless. It just wasn't meant for us. We had a good ride. And at the end of the day, I look at it like this. Football or anything that we done preparing us for where we at right now. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It be on the field with the discipline, or making sure that you just hitting your hole right, or you filling that hole outside container, whatever position you play. It's the same thing in the real world that we got going on right now, man. Like,
you gotta do your job.
Do your job, man. Just stay disciplined. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I thank God for all the opportunities, man, because can't a lot of people say that they had those opportunities either.
Hey, man, that's real talk, man. You know, they say, how's it go? They say, man, it's better to been a has been than a never was.
Man, right?
You know what I mean?
Good. So I had a good run. We had a good run, man. So
yeah. And yeah, you know, you also can't take away from that education side because, you know, I was the first in my family to graduate from college.
Man, that's what's up, man.
And so, you know, that education, you know what I mean, was afforded through football. You know what I mean? And so, you know, I'm thankful even looking at what I'm doing now, man. You know, I've come full circle because I went to school and majored in communications. But, you know, I did a little bit of TV broadcasting because that was the idea. I was going to play pro ball, and then I was going to transition into TV. And you know what I'm saying? You look, you know, it go full circle. You know what I mean? The education that I got and the experience that I got during that time, I'm sitting up here doing it now with the Broken King podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Big shout outs to Broken King, man. Hey,
yeah.
Big shout outs to education too, bro.
That's what I'm saying. That's TCU. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, I always could, you know, I always had a mouthpiece, but you know, to be able to get everything polished in school, it was a beautiful thing, man. So anyway, we kind of detoured off on it, but so when you get to Texas, you initially are working for a company.
I was marketing for a company.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And so about I'll say we probably met about what, 2014, something like that, 2015.
The beginning of 2015 and the 2014.
So me and AB, we started kicking it, man. You know, we doing the cookouts, we hanging out, man. We chopping up game on different ideas and things. And so, you know, AB's a family man, also an entrepreneur. He had a ABR Collections, Did you start ABR in 2015, or when did you start?
Yep. It was 2015.
2015. And so, we with our nonprofit, we ended up doing a father's event, and I partnered with AB, and he got all the apparel, the shirts and polos for all the guys and everything or whatever. Tell us about ABR Collections.
Okay. Well, ABR collection started out. I was hanging out with one of my coworkers, and he explained to me, "Hey, man, I was thinking about coming up with a clothing line." I said, "Okay." Yeah, he said, "Man, you should do the same." And I'm like, "Okay." But ABR started out back in what was it was in the brewing back in 2009. I didn't really bring it forward till probably about 2015, but it was brewing because what happened was my my cousin, R.I.P. The R in the ABR stands for my cousin. His name was Ricky. You know what I'm saying? Shout outs to him, R.I.P. Sleep in heaven. He taught me about T-shirts, and he said, "Well, when a guy, one of his friends that he met when he was incarcerated, told him about the T-shirt game, and we kind of implicated and did some research on it, and then I did a little bit more information, and we started making T-shirts, and he got killed, so he got murdered." So then I created ABR because he used to like to be fly. Everybody likes to be fly, and I said I'm gonna make a brand, and then I'm gonna dedicate it to him, my oldest son, and my baby boy. So it's my oldest son, Ahmad, my baby boy Rick, Brendan, and my cousin Ricky. He taught me how to make T-shirts, so that's what ABR collection stands for.
Man,
It was
so real quick, man, that's crazy because the whole time I was thinking, did the AB stand for Adrian Beasley?
a lot of people think that, man. Like,
And
and
the
I
R stood for your cousin Ricky.
yeah.
So,
So
but that's for your sons, your
my
legacy.
yep.
Okay.
So the idea really came to like the collection was inspired. No, not gonna knock him right now because he's down. Diddy kind of inspired me with that Sean Johns collection.
No Diddy.
No Diddy, you know what I'm saying? And I said, well, I can do something with ABR collection, and that's how that thing started, man. And it's just been branded, and ABR collection helped me help other people get their brand started
Yeah.
and their apparel. So we just don't do our own brand. We do other people's brands as well. Family reunions, anniversaries,
Team
birthdays,
sports.
team sports, nonprofits, whatever you need, we can do it. Embroidery, heat transfer, digitize, whatever, we can make it happen. If you got something that you need something put on, we can do it.
Yeah, share that information, man.
So just check me out at www.collection.online, or you can reach out to me at Beasley Adrian 19 at yahoo.com for more information.
Okay, yeah, we'll probably put that on the screen, man. So if they didn't catch that, you know what I'm saying, we'll have a link for them on the
Gotcha.
screen. That brings us to a point that I want to talk about, man, because we planned for the summer fathers event, and we set up everything. We had a wonderful event. And I remember a conversation that we were having early on with you saying, man, you know what? It's been a while since my families got together. And you know what? Somebody got to step up and put together a family reunion so these kids can know their cousins. And so, mama can see, her kids and grandkids and her nieces and nephews and, just family getting together.
Well, I can say it started with that move when I moved to Chicago. I ran into some cousins that I never met. They're on my grandfather's side. So my grandfather died in '86. I was born in '86. I was born January '86. He died July '86. So he got a chance to see me, but I didn't. I'm a baby, a toddler, 6 months years old, and never got a chance to see him or meet him. But I have met one of his nephews previous to me moving to Chicago. But when I moved to Chicago, my mom reached out to a couple family members, and they happened to be in Chicago. My granddaddy's nephews, his sister kids that I never met, except one of their brothers, and that's what kind of kickstarted. Hey, we need to start getting together, and because when I grew up with my grandmother on her side, we have a reunion every year, so I knew everybody on that side. but then it stopped as grandma died. And my grandmother passed away in 2002. I graduated high school in 2004. Now, fast forward, this is 2011. I'm in Chicago 7, 8 years later, whatever. And I'm in Chicago, and all of that stuff. We never had a reunion since then on my grandfather's side that I know of before even I was born. So met a few of my cousins in Chicago, and we got to chopping it up. And he was explaining to me that his mother had been trying to get a Beasley family reunion, which is why I have my last name. It comes from my grandfather, my mother's father, a Beasley side of the family reunion. And that's where it kind of kick started at. He was like, "Well, I'm having a wedding in Arizona. I want you to and your family to come." And as soon as I went to that wedding in Arizona, I announced that on his wedding day that we're gonna start a Beasley family reunion in Dallas, Texas.
Man, so you say 2002, and that's when Big Mama passed. Man, that's the story in a lot of families, man.
hmm
That grandmother or that anchor or that nucleus to the family. They get older and then they eventually pass on. A lot of times the family just kind of falls apart, man. People don't emphasize, keeping in touch the same way when Big Mama's gone, man.
And that's a shame. But I'm gonna tell you some crazy thing about this, man. Grandma didn't like her family.
Oh, really?
Nah, she ain't like them. Well,
Come on, man.
so let me explain it to you. Grandma kind of complicated. She live outside, but she hold her own though. She ain't gonna take no crap from nobody. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
she checking people in the whole nine. But
She was a G.
G. But when it came to, hey, let me go kick it with my family, I'm gonna kick it with them, and y'all gonna know. So we had family all over on her side that I knew of, but I didn't know my granddaddy's side. So I was just putting all these pieces together. So grandmother passed 2002. The last reunion I remember going to when she was alive was in 2000 when I moved from Buffalo to Louisiana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
it was a gap, man. We talking over 10 years that
yeah,
y'all didn't have anything, right?
over 10 years that I hadn't had a family reunion yet.
Yeah.
So it came to my conclusion that I was gonna have to make it happen because a lot of them had died off. They had passed on, and every time I'm kicking it with family, it seems like it's because I'm going to a funeral. So I remember that feeling of how I felt as a kid every year going to the family reunions. And then now I had my two boys at the time. Now my oldest son, he was with us at the time. He's 20 and my baby boy is 10. So my baby boy was like 2 and my oldest son was like 12 or whatever.
Mhm.
So I'm like, okay, I'm there at that age where I can remember how I felt being around my cousins and being around the family reunion and didn't know them, and that feeling that you feel every summer and that smell of it. You can smell the time of family reunion time, and like when you're like, oh yeah, it's about to be on.
So you can smell it, huh?
Smell that barbecue, smell a little smell a little lick on somebody's breath, some cigarettes in there, you hear the dominoes. You can, you
Yeah.
feel it.
Yeah.
It's sometimes your spirit that puts you in that mood every time right before it's about to happen. It's time to reset and see your family. You know what I mean?
That's a huge shout out to you, man, because I really believe so. Even in my family, it's been a while since we've had a family reunion. We actually putting together one for this summer right now,
hmm
and it's exciting, man. But I think about, man, what happened? Like you said, when I was a kid, man, we spent them summers together every summer. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And so on both sides of the family, what I mean, we was linking up. And like I got family, my family is Austin, Houston, Fort Worth. In Texas, we primarily there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Houston, Austin, and Fort Worth. And we would alternate summers, you know what I'm saying, going there. And then I also on my other side of the family, Bryan, College Station.
Okay.
We go to Bryan. I be in Bryan every single summer, kicking it with all my cousins. Man,
Yeah.
we grew up like long distance brothers and sisters. You know what I'm
And
saying?
that's exactly how it should be.
And it'd be a house full of us, man. And I mean, I think about my cousin Dwayne, man. We had a rap group and we was like 11, 12, man. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to my cousin Dwayne, man. We was in that thing going off.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? We had them them instrumentals.
yeah,
We had them ghetto boy instrumental tape, you know what I'm saying, with the blank tape. You play one side and record on the other side.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's bring back a lot of memories,
Hey,
man.
that,
Yeah,
you
so I'm thinking about how my sons and my daughters really haven't been into family reunions, and they don't know all of their cousins the way that I did coming up. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like, so
yeah.
my cousins in certain places. So we go, we visit Houston a lot. And so they know their cousins there, but my cousins in Bryan and my cousins in Fort Worth, they just don't know them like that. So we're gonna make that thing happen this year. We're gonna step up to the plate
Big
and make
shout
that
outs to
happen.
that, man. That's gonna be beautiful.
But the whole, when I think about it, you've been how many years have you been doing it now, the Beasley reunion?
Well, this will be the 10th year, but I can't take all the credit for the first couple of years. My brother, he was a big part of it. He still is, you know. My mom, they help out. My wife, shout out to Selena, she definitely helps out. Man, without you guys too, like some of my closest friends, like you guys are always in attendance. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Uh, you guys would be at the reunion before some of the family members would be there. So I mean, that's why you say we consider brothers. We is brothers, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We is family. But again,
So
go ahead.
so let's go into this, right? So how many years has it been now?
It's gonna be 10 years this year
So this is 10 years that in a row that you've hosted with your team, your
with my
brother, your
team.
mama, and
Hmm.
everybody. 10 years that you hosted the Beasley reunion.
Yep.
Man, that's awesome, bro.
Yeah, man.
Is so let's do this, man. Let's talk about it's somebody out here that's watching this video and they like, man, you know what? Man, we ain't did a reunion in 10 years, man. What's uh what's the blueprint if you could share as to how to make a family reunion happen? Now, not
Far as like a
necessarily
blueprint that I would give or any advice I would give to anybody that's trying to just start a family reunion from scratch, I would just say just get you a location, get you a date set, have some patience. You gotta have patience. Pray about it. And even if it's just two or three of y'all that show up, even the words say in his name, y'all be fine. And more people will come. But just, just get a location, get a date, have some patience and pray about it and just start it. Just start somewhere.
yeah, you got to start
It can
somewhere.
be, it don't even have because I do a 3-day event. It can be a 1-day event, but most people it depend on where they live and if you got a close families in your vicinity or wherever you live at in your radius where you live, you could do it a day, but just kind of put a game plan out there and see what people would think. Hey man, what you like, what you think of a 2-day vacation, in the summer or the spring or something to kick off. Start somewhere, and
Yeah,
like even if two people respond, don't get sad. It'd be all right.
yeah,
More people will come.
yeah. So like you saying, it starts with getting a location. So when getting a location, of course, it takes finances.
Yeah.
So are you suggesting that, if you're that person that feels like, you know what, I want to take the initiative to start something for my family. Do they need to basically finance it, or do you reach out to your family about the idea? Do you do a marketing campaign, you know what I mean, to try to raise finances, or do you say, you know what, let me see what I can put together with my budget,
Yeah.
and and start off with whatever you can afford to rent to get that date set and a location set so that you can build from there.
Well, if you gonna start it out, you got two options. You can also reach out to see anybody' opinion on what's gonna happen or what you want to do, like how you want to start it, or you can say, okay, I would probably reach out and see, hey, would anybody really be interested in doing it?
Set, yeah,
If you
some
get that
cousins,
location and that date,
and you build from there.
yeah, even if it's at your crib or what I'm saying in somebody's backyard or
That's right.
at
Park.
a free park, $15 permit or 25, whatever it be,
That's right.
you know,
So yeah, you can. It's a world of opportunities in different places that you can do it. If you're willing to think outside the box, and your finances kind of dictate what type of rental you can do,
Yeah.
But and I know as far as something like with our family, we have. It was a time where I can remember we used to do family reunions outside, man, in the country,
Yeah.
and we'd be out there in the heat all day long, swatting flies.
It's
You
still a
know what
good
I'm
time.
saying, bro? We
I
had a great
mean, we
time.
playing footballs, frisbee,
Some of the great time of my life, bro.
horseshoe toss. I mean, baseball, kickball,
All of that.
chase.
But it's funny now, man. The family members that got a little older in the family now, they ain't trying to be outside.
No, they ain't feeling it. You better have a fan, AC, insulated, couple tents, 5 or 6
Ain't no
tents.
tents, but they want that AC, man. You know what
I
I'm
feel them
saying?
though because it's a different heat now.
Hey, maybe
It,
so.
it's a different heat now.
Maybe
But
so.
again,
But
like
we used to do that
people,
thing outside,
look,
man. That
I'm
was
gonna tell
great.
you something too, man.
Yeah.
People gonna come where they want to come.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Regardless.
Like heat, rain, snow. I don't care if it's snowing, raining, whatever. They gonna come where they want to come. It's about, like you say, just getting that date in that location, put it out there,
Mhm.
and if everybody don't come or who you expect to come don't come, long as somebody come, even if it just be you and your girl or your kids, you know what I'm saying? You started it, so eventually people will start coming because that's how it is. And,
Gotcha.
and then you reach out, I'll give you kind of hints to kind of reach out to some of the popular family members in your family and
Yeah.
have them kind of reach out because it helps out too when somebody know if it's Earl David gonna be there, yeah, or Annie Pearl gonna be there, Big
Yeah.
Rich gonna be there.
Yeah.
So they kind
Some
of
of
flock. Some of them kind of all flock around to each other, like not necessarily flock, but they clickage.
Yeah, no, definitely. You got a
People
spokes.
want to be around people they want to have fun with too, though.
Yeah, no doubt. Definitely, man. So it is about building a team. Ultimately, if you can reach out and make some contacts with your family, and they agree that, man, you know what, you're right. We definitely need to put something together. You get them on your team, and you kind of start working together. Get that location, then you can talk planning with everything else from food to if y'all got enough money to do T-shirts and
Mm-hmm.
whatever. I guess itinerary you want for the day or for that weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's what's up, man.
I hate to say this. Don't mean to cut you off. I hate to say this too, but a lot of good places to try to network with that thing is when you at that funeral, man. At that funeral, that's sometimes that idea is pitched like, "Hey, man, we need to get together." Besides this,
Yeah,
and that has helped me with
yeah.
with those things too.
Whenever you get an opportunity to be around family, kind of just bring it up. Whatever the
Facts.
occasion is, when you see your people, man, you say, hey, look,
Yeah.
we need to get together on some good terms. You know what I'm
When it
saying?
hit them though, but that funeral, when it hit them, it hit them the hardest that did because they understand that you ain't you. It's a serious matter. You know what I'm saying? Because
we ain't here forever.
yeah,
Don't take it for granted.
the preacher said,
Yeah,
one day you will be here.
yeah.
So at this point, let's not be here. Let's see each other before we be here.
Come on, man. Let's do more than cry and mourn together.
Let's have fun. Let's rejoice when we
get
can.
together and
Smell them roses.
Come on, man.
Give me my flowers.
I'm with you 1,000%, man. I think that's a great message to share. Because big mamas are leaving,
Yeah.
and it's time for the generation, underneath to step into their role and take that responsibility to keep the family united and together. And especially I think about this too, man. If you from a small town, them kids don't know each other.
Yeah.
Them kids can end up hell dating or anything, man.
Exactly.
Because you know what I'm saying. I got so many cousins, man. And if you sitting up in a small town and
Yeah.
y'all ain't never getting together, you don't know your cousin. Y'all just minding y'all business as a family. Hell, that could be trouble.
It definitely can happen, and it has happened probably several times. You know what I'm saying? But I know my grandmother area where they from. You only can walk a certain mile to find a boyfriend or girlfriend. Like, hey, it's just a small area.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But if they don't know, and that's why these reunions are here. Like, you can run up on like we travel. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm not in the dating room anymore. But at the end of the day, I traveled a lot. And if I didn't know, like, hey, I'm asking deeper questions. Where you from? Oh, you from Mississippi? You know what I'm saying? Like, if I didn't know these people like that I met my granddaddy's side like 12 years ago, 15 years ago, it'd have been like, hey, I'm in Chicago. We got some of my cousins. I mean, I'm a good handsome man, and we have beautiful women in our family, and they live there. So it's like, hey,
Man, don't say that, man.
I'm just saying this. That's why the importance of having those reunions
No, definitely.
for you would know.
That's right.
Because I mean, you never know who you can do.
That's right, man.
So
And yeah, and so it's. I think that's something also to get lost. You know, it's a lot of reasons why Big Mama wanted to get everybody together. You know, of course, she loved to see, you know, her family and offsprings and nieces and nephews and everybody. But I think the generation, you know, before us and above us, you know what I mean, really also seen the importance of us being united
yeah,
as family, as brothers and sisters, that's cousins. Like, you know, at some point in time, y'all gonna need each other.
yeah,
So y'all need to know each other.
facts.
And, you know, it's very easy when that anchor to the family is no longer there to push for it, to just go on mind your business.
Yeah,
And this is something that is very prevalent in these days, man.
yeah,
And so, man, shout out to you for keeping that thing, for putting it together and keeping that thing going with your family. We're gonna get back rolling as far as with my family. And I encourage anybody out there, man, that has a family, have kids, make sure that you are trying to, you know, organize times where you can get together with your extended family, have fun together and share times together where, you know, the kids get to know each other and y'all get to stay tight and united. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Just to piggyback off what you were saying too, though, like far as that keeping that family together. Let's think about it like this: you have back in the day that some families were ripped apart from each other.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And now we have the opportunity to be together without having to be ripped apart. Like back to slavery, people were sold off. Now just utilize these opportunities now to understand that once upon a time this wasn't possible.
Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying? Even
Yeah.
COVID kind of
Yeah.
moved it around a little bit. Now people are kind of hesitant, but now that shows you like things can happen just like that. Use those opportunities that you can to keep your family as tight as you can, because at one point in time, people couldn't be around each other.
We take it for granted, man.
Don't take it for granted.
And, you know, also sometimes we don't always see eye to eye.
Yeah,
And, you know, it's amazing to see families fall apart or, you know, family members fall out with each other over reasons that, you know, can't even really explain, you know, as far as it not really being justifiable reasons to say I don't even deal with that person no
yeah,
more. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I mean, offense happens.
yeah. Now, if you can make amends, make amends. If you can't, you can't. Because some people out here don't even like their boss. You still go get that check though.
Come on, man.
You know,
That's right.
So
It's business.
it's business.
And so when you're talking about something like a family reunion, I think that's family business. And I think
Absolutely.
we have to learn how to get over offense and get over our own personal feelings about him or her and whatever, and realize that the business of keeping this family together, keeping this family you know, aware of, you know, new family members.
Yeah,
And you know, that's business that's worth tending to regardless of how you feel. That's what's up, man. Hey B, man, I appreciate your time, bro.
appreciate you for having me.
Yes, sir, man. And you know, I'm looking forward to this summer. The family reunion, man.
Good luck, man. You're gonna be fine, man.
Yes,
Just
sir.
have patience and pray about it.
Definitely, man. Definitely gotta have a lot of patience and need some prayer, man.
I'll be
So,
praying for you.
all right, man. Till the next time, y'all be good.
All right.